What's going on, guys? This is your motivation guy. That's right, your friend, the one and only Keith Allen. So happy to be back with you guys today, coming at you with another ProGuides video. All right, so today we're going to be giving you guys an in-depth guide to Split, one of Valorant's most controversial maps. But before we get into all of that, our question of the day. All right, guys, are the rifle changes good or bad? All right, you got to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Split is overall the most hated map due to the low FPS and, it being extremely defender-sided. With every little space for the attackers to work with, it can just sometimes feel like, the walls are just collapsing in on you. It's frustrating and, sometimes seemingly impossible to win consecutive rounds on the attacking side. But today, guys, man, that all changes because we're going to be talking about different positions to play on all sites, ability usage, and which agents are best for each position. Then we're going to be, we're going to go over position by position, showing you how to defend and attack like the pros do. So you guys got to get ready for the ultimate Split guide. All right, guys, so for the first half of this video, we're going to be talking about how to defend, and the most valuable position in Split is middle. So the main thing to focus while holding middle is using a tactic called utility cycling. Utility cycling is using your abilities in the same spot over and over to hold a position for an extended period of time, right? You can use utility cycling with many different agents, but the best ones for middle are Brimstone, Sage, Omen, and Viper. So these agents provide, multiple different options to cycle through. For example, when Brimstone has 3 smokes and a Molotov. An example of utility cycling would be, when you delay the attacking side from any access towards middle. This really, just takes some good communication between the two mid players. Usually, you would want your Brimstone in ropes and your Sage inside mailroom. Brimstone can still smoke the A side of the map from ropes, and Sage will be able to wall off middle from mailroom using these positions. At this point, you want to wait for some information or sound, right? Once someone chooses to make some footsteps in middle, this is your time to either smoke off middle or use slow orb from Sage. But make sure, guys, not to overlap your abilities, as this is going to throw the whole strategy out the window. Using this strategy perfectly is going to, usually result in a failed attempt by the opposition, as, they are easily just able to be shot, especially in a slow. Of course, as you will most always be met with more than one player per angle, try to only peek when, using an ability. A great way to peek is when using Sage's wall to block off middle. So jump on top of it from mailroom to catch your enemies off guard. Also, if you set the wall down a bit lower on the stairs here, you will actually give your ropes player a little gap to see the legs of the enemy if they choose to push up. The other way you can play middle is by pushing early. For pushes, anyone can play middle, but right now, the top pros are using Sage and Breach most of the time. For the ultimate combo, you can use Sage's wall to block off either sewer or market, and then have Breach stun or flash into whatever side is not walled off, for some free kills. If you happen to catch multiple players in these positions, you will be sure, guys, to clean house against the enemy team. If you only happen to kill, 2 or less, it's always in your favor to just rotate back, towards safer positions to keep the man advantage. The enemy can always bring these situations back, so it's just better to play it safe. Stay vigilant. All right, guys, heading on over to B site. We're going to be talking about information gathering, delaying aggression and communication with your mailroom player. The best agents to play on B site revolve around anyone that can delay aggression. Agents like Cypher, Viper, and Sage are your top picks right here. In almost all cases, man, playing one agent dedicated to the B side is the right call. Your goal here is really just do not die. Cypher is the top pick at B because he allows you to stay safe, while also allowing you to see into B main while not risking your own life. Having Cypher's tripwires set up in B main allows you to just not have to peek at all. And you can just actually choose to leave the position and support the middle. But guys, we just got to be aware of the enemy shooting a tripwire. So make sure to check your camera from time to time. Now, if you don't have a Cypher, the next best agent to play B is Viper. The perfect step to deny anyone from ever attempting to get the orb in B main is to set up this one way. So you got to use your poison cloud to throw at this metal beam to give you a one-way for B main. You can also set up your wall beforehand, just to block off the advancement to site. Once they're out, you can activate the wall, making it much easier to take one-on-one duels. So if you decided not to pick one of these 2 agents previously mentioned, your best bet might be to fight for B main control. So a great agent for this aggression is Phoenix. With his 2 flashbangs and healing capabilities, oh my goodness, he makes for a great duelist early on. So it's just really important to not peek every round, as that's surely going to lead you to dying for no reason. Switching it up and delaying the push can also work too. Like if you find yourself in B main and your team hears nothing middle, you can probably guess it's a hit. Pushing past B main in most cases is a death trap, man. Like especially like in our games, like I often see inexperienced players push B main and die instead of just holding B main. So the A side is just much more standard on defense compared to middle and B. So, if you're familiar with Counter-Strike, A side split is going to feel like home for you, like without a doubt, because of its similarities in playstyle. Agents like Phoenix, Raze and Viper are great for holding A site, but, any agent can play the A site well. Commonly held by 2 players, a site is best played more passively than B or middle. Aggressive play doesn't work too well on A site because, the hallway at the entrance to the ramp area leaves little room to work around. The B side and middle are just much more suited for aggressive play. So assuming your teammates know, what they're doing, you should be getting some info, from them as they can make their plays. And then this allows you to stand your ground. And on top of this, the site itself has a lot of angles to work with. So, just simply holding a position and, stopping the enemy attack is the way to go. At the beginning of the round, make sure to take advantage of the ramp and A main. Because, if an attack happens, the site player and heaven player should work together at all times to pressure attackers and buy time for the rotating teammates. Leaving ramp, gives the attackers a lot of map control for free, allowing them to just set up site, executes quickly and silently. So, challenging for ramp control early lets you take some fights if you feel confident. But mostly, acts to keep attackers on their toes about pushing without thinking. So once you've fallen back and prepared for your final defense, the A side strengths begin to shine. For attackers, the number of angles to check is excruciating, man. Having one player heaven and, another site is the most basic crossfire for mowing down an oncoming push. Off angles can be used as well. Some include, playing behind the flower pot below heaven and, peeking late when the heaven player just gets spotted. Or, peeking the back of site and just spraying them down while they check those close cubbies. Okay, guys, so now the part everyone is waiting for. All right, the attacking side. So, when heading towards middle, the most common thing players choose to do is to take a fight towards rope and mailroom. The right way of playing middle is just to wait out in any early round ability usage towards market or sewer side. That way, you can avoid taking any early damage or casualties. After that point, you can just choose to work your way in. When coming out market side, the first thing that you want to do is get someone off the ropes angle. Ropes is a common spot to snipe from, right? So you want to use an ability to stop them from holding it. Phoenix flashbang or, Breach's flash are perfect for this. Likewise, using Breach's stun or just smoking off middle for a moment will work as well. When coming out of sewers, the first angle you will be met with is the tiny plateau in the mailroom. You could choose to take the 1v1 fight here, as it is about a 50-50. However, Brimstone's Molotov or Viper's Snakebite are perfect for getting someone out of this location. After both of the angles are clear, it's really up to you and your team to put even more aggression down to either just to force a fight, with one of the 2 middle players, or to bait out abilities or even a rotation. Having someone in B main while you are taking middle will allow for your teammate, just to get the information that B site will be easier to take. So guys, just try to quietly rotate out and just gather outside B quickly so that you can just push in while that information is still valuable. If you aren't getting information on a rotate, your best bet is to continue to bait out abilities, especially Sage's wall. If you can get her to just use the wall early, you will have a giant advantage over their ability to control middle. Once you are ready to push in close, use an ability to block off the doorway to ropes. Sage's wall is the best here, but a smoke of any kind will also suffice, right? You just gotta be mindful of someone running through it as you run up mailroom and into B heaven. Once you are close to heaven, be mindful of your spacing. Bunching up in this area can be the end of your round, and one flash or, any CC will basically do you and your team in. So you just gotta be ready for someone to peek mailroom. And once you're actually running into heaven, just make sure to stay close so that, you could just trade any death kill that happens during this part of the round. Once you have secured heaven, guys, the B side middle player and the B side defender should be dead. This is gonna make for an easy plant and a much easier hold to protect the spike. The B site on split is not super fun for a lot of players because it doesn't require, as much of an active role. But don't be mistaken, man, a proper B lurk is incredibly important for a successful attacking side. Mostly, if your team is spread out, looking for map control, a B side player is lurking in or just outside of B main, making sure to just shut down aggression. Getting an opening pick is the first job until the round slows down and, you could just start prodding for info. If nothing else, man, the B lurk gives the A and mid players safety and peace of mind, that the flank can happen until late round. So if the B lurk can secure that kill, it can often lead to the capturing of B site. If you feel confident in your aim, man, like the B site is a safe place to take one-on-one duels if your team needs an advantage somewhere. Unlike the opposite side of the map, towards A, B main is completely closed off, allowing a lurk player to silently peek one angle at a time all the way into the site. Isolating potential enemies in common spots and just, hitting a quick headshot with the Vandal or pre-aiming with the Operator can catch B defenders off guard as they check the entrance to the site. Staying silent is also an option as you quickly backstab unknowing hostiles while your team splits the site from heaven after a mid-take. So, if you've taken control and have gotten the necessary info, the next step is to execute. So rushing B off choke at the entrance to the bomb site can have your team wiped out by a single AoE ability. Late round, after utility has been burned, the B side is easy to overwhelm. The good thing about, pushing B is there will always be a solo player trying to hold it down. If you make too much noise, however, a mid-rotate is not far away. After you called for your team to gather behind you silently, make sure to have a brimstone smoke off heaven, or have a Sage or Phoenix, put up a wall to your right as you can just ignore heaven and challenge the site. If you like to play Viper, you can also learn this utility set for your poison wall and smoke is shown, right? With side control, make sure you have enough eyes on heaven looking for the rotating defenders to eliminate. It's also very easy just to block off the tiny entrance from CT with one smoke or any damaging ability. Okay guys, so now heading towards A site, your focus is really going to be on your ability to take heaven. This is going to include a lot of proper ability usage and good team coordination to be able to get into heaven safely. The best agents for setting yourself up for success towards A are Viper, Sova, and Brimstone. However, like Jet and Phoenix also shine here with their pure aggression. A really common execute used in higher ranks is this Viper wall that not only blocks off ramp, but also blocks off heaven. Combining this with the Brimstone smoke for the doorway that leads to A site near CT will make for a much easier take. When entering site, with this setup, you just gotta be mindful of catwalk, when running up A short. After clearing those angles, just make sure to just trade your teammates constantly as there is a high potential for either the A-side player or catwalk player to get multi-kills. Normally, without using an A-side execute, your focus will be on taking ramp and working into A heaven. Sova can bounce this recon bolt off the sign above A short for early information towards A ramp. Not only does, this show off someone is playing on ramp, but it also discourages the enemy from coming back to ramp as long as proper aggression is followed up with it. As you push in towards A short and the cross towards A ramp, you just gotta be mindful of the opening where an operator or anyone with the rifle can just fight you at a distance as you cross. So if your goal is to just purely take ramp and just, work towards A heaven, it would be best just to have your Brimstone or anyone else to just smoke off the cross. A player may still choose to spam the smoke, so you gotta try to cross as fast as possible or delay for a moment to wait out the spam. So once you're up ramp, just jump on top of the cubby to your left instead of just, running directly up the ramp. This is going to allow you to take a cleaner fight when first peeking the doorway into heaven. And at this point, it's all about good utility and just winning gunfights. So you gotta block off ropes and just flash your way in. Once ropes is no longer a worry, all you have to focus on is someone in heaven. By the time you make it into heaven, you can just expect at least one player to be rotated over. So it's not like wrong to assume that there's going to be two players in heaven at that point. Try to have two teammates also going out A short once you are taking A heaven. This is going to ensure you win the A side over. All right, guys, once again, this is your motivation guide. That's right, your friend, the one and only Keith Allen. Hopefully this guide is going to increase your win rate on Split because we're always here, man, to help you guys improve your gameplay and maximize your potential. Even though Split is one of the hardest maps overall, we hope we've given you guys some newfound confidence. So go out there, man, get it, keep grinding, never give up, all right? Because you can do it. Remember to make sure if you want to improve at Valorant, we have some amazing Immortal and Valorant ranked coaches on ProGuides.com. Make sure to book a session with the first link in the description below. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more tips, tricks, and guides. We'll see you soon. Peace.